greetings. We're joining us. All right. Let's see. Feline fiasco has just begun, just as I was turning up. So this is a little bit different. Parliamentary. I had to say that twice just for the sake of it. Triangle in Canberra, or however you pronounce that, in Australia. That's the capital of Australia. So the capital has a pyramid there in the grid. Is anybody though that surprised? I doubt it. That's nothing new, obviously. Just for me to just say. And look who's here. She's on a mission. And Walter D. I guess Maria is his last name. He's like an archon artist. It gets more bizarre. He just puts stuff on the floor and makes it look cool. It's quite unique. And also New Zealand, I feel like that is another, Australia and New Zealand seem to be working together. They both have like crazy lockdowns. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, last year, as soon as they started doing the lockdowns there, it was pretty obvious. So there's influence, obviously, from the Queen. I think they're kind of disconnected from that, sort of, maybe. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but well, either way, there's influence there. So that's where a lot of your elite are living in some form or another. Oh, that's pretty obvious. I mean, they lock people down for nothing because they can. So we're gonna go into some of those energies and see what we pull out of a magic hat. I mean, like I said, all this is obvious, but kind of do another look at it from a different perspective. But Australia is just, the government there is a sewer. Then again, United USA, we have like a robot as president. They just like, I think they remote control him with their cell phone. They tell him to type in stuff and he says it. Tell him to pass gas or whatever it is. Whisper, put whisper mode. Just whatever. Biden is basically our version of Saturday Night Live. It's 24 hours a day. It's just a big joke, but we're just here for a bunch of laughs anyway, right? Just a joke of the world. As I'm talking to comment private sessions. The shop here on the 29th. I'm getting somewhere, kind of same situation here. Webinar Saturday, social network behind the scenes and school. Basically, some of the stuff I'm talking about here, it's kind of inspiring a lot of it. To go a little bit deeper, all right, that's an artist that just puts stuff on the ground. He just lays stuff out. This is Walter. What the hell, man? And this is in they have an art exhibit in Switzerland. Who else is going to take this bizarreness? So yeah, there's the triangle as a capital, and they say it's conspiracy theory, but far from it. Even though there's it's like an owl. Yeah, that is nothing new. I don't think I've ever talked about any of this, but yeah, the pyramid. They have a pyramid there. Something like that. I don't know if they have it. Either way, they do or they don't. Well, there's a small one there. But yeah, they're just pretty much putting it in your face. Of course, people laugh about it, all that, but it's the real deal. They're not, and even just the city. Yeah, even without, it's a grid. It's like a portal. And I didn't go too deep into this, but it definitely has. They just don't care. Now there's positive and dark elite there, but I believe it's mostly the dark. New Zealand is a little bit better, but not by much. Yeah, this seems to be they just don't care. They're going to treat people like slaves until people don't want to be slaves anymore. So yeah, they're just. I mean, it's all about the energy too. So when they know that they can suppress people, they're going to do it. And when their energy shifts to push back, they pull back. But obviously, a lot of people like being slaves. We see that. We definitely see that in the United States. That's for sure. Apparently, this is like anyway, it's like an Atlantean cult that's in Australia. Antium, and I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's like a little city. And I guess it's its own little country within Australia, something like that. So it has its own everything, and it's in Australia though. Yeah, it's all Atlantean. Let me look at that nice little pyramid there. I think I've talked about this too. It's just been a while. Yeah, there it is. Here's those guys. Yeah, the only micronation in Australia. Yeah, it's a nation within a nation, basically. So, no, you can live there for $200 a night. That sounds like a bargain deal. And this one, nice little rainbow flag there. Yeah, it has nothing but good vibrations there. There's the artist. Fucking weird. And they have an art exhibit here. This is in Zurich. In case anybody cares. Fucking bizarre. It's like, can we get more Archon for you? I mean, I think all those have like cool shapes and stuff too. It's like definitely an Archon artist. So just put stuff on the ground. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff, but come on, man. Yeah, that's art. The bed of spikes, that's art. So yeah, whatever works for you. New Zealand, I don't think there's anything there in particular to look at. Other than it's like a watered down version of the elite control, at least. Fuck, man. It's like, but it does feel like New Zealand and Australia did talk to each other, at least vibrationally. I mean, I imagine they communicate in some ways, but New Zealand feels like obviously it's not part of the talking points or anything, but it's a lesser of the evils. This is a vibe I'm getting. But Australia is like, at least the government is just dark as fuck. Obviously. Yeah, they really, dark Atlantean energies are. At least the ancestries. I mean, truly just don't care. Something like sucking the life out of the people, something like that. And Walter is obviously like an elitist artist in many different ways. Yeah, that type of art makes no really much sense, but to them, it's all about. I guess the energy I get from some of his work is kind of like imprisonment. So, whatever works for you on that one. All right, looking at the Australian energies, if that's helpful to anybody. People are worried about the world and the world going into. It's all this about supply chains and all that. It's all they're just manufacturing problems. Nothing makes sense. Yeah, and they'll somehow fix it. They're just here to lower the vibration. They're just screwing around. I don't see. There might be some areas where they'll have supply issues, but it's just games. So other than that, if you want to play by, you want to be afraid of everything, go right ahead. We'll make it through it. Yeah, they're just trying to like grab everyone by the throat, basically. That's the vibe I get from them, and it works. So for some people, it is a majority. They feel like this is the end. We're all going to get wiped out or whatever it is. But that's not going to happen. We'll just get through it. We'll get through it and go whatever propaganda go through it as, whatever variant problem they'll pull out of their ass, basically. It's all just a show. They just keep throwing stuff at us. They just don't care. And when you have most of society that doesn't believe in any of this spiritual stuff, so it's easy to be programmed. And people will have problems with their belief systems. Like they don't know what to believe, this, believe that. You don't have to believe in anything. I mean, it doesn't. If you can't, if you can't take it, just don't worry about it. It does get confusing. It is kind of intense, but it's the way it's supposed to be like that. It's like if you can survive the storm, you will awaken more. It might be more bizarre than it was before, but those that can't handle it are just going to go back to sleep, basically, in some form. It's just too complicated. Yeah, it's messed up. Yeah, they just want to get people, disconnected from all of this. They want you to just get tired of all of it and just take the manipulation and worry about all of this. Was it if we're gonna have enough supplies and stuff like that, or wherever they're gonna pull it out of their ass. So it's just a bunch of nonsense. So, all right, we're going to Australian energies. And the artists, we're going to the artist's vibration. Yeah, it's going to be a sweet one. Jeez. And New Zealand vibrations. And connected to the alien energies that are there. Australia obviously has draconian energies, but that's pretty obvious. Just take away all your rights and take away your care for humanity. Take away everything. With Walter, like I said, that's Archon energy, and New Zealand actually has Palladian energy, but kind of corrupt version of it. With Australia, there's a lot of Atlantean, definitely Atlantean vibrations. Even in the higher courts, the hierarchy of Atlantean, at least the ancestry is definitely there. There's a lot of UN energies there. I'm not sure about a lot of UN. I don't know if they have much. Maybe they have houses there or something. Some of the UN people might live there. There just seems to be, if it gets when the world explodes, I guess Australia is one of the places I think they'll survive. Maybe. So. All right. Connect to energies of Australia, and we'll see where this goes. All right. Blessings. Who knows where this is going to go. Greetings. So, we are the Australian consciousness. We're not there to tell people what to do, but we are ones that have a certain way of living. Yes, there's a lot of hijacked vibrations going on at this time to reverse the process of growth. Well, if Australia goes through manipulation, the rest of the world feels it. It's kind of like you tighten the belt a little bit. You've kind of, the breathing of the planet's consciousness lowers itself. And that's what's happening. Well, it's also to get the world's attention. This is as extreme as it can go. Of course, it can go even further. It's like the guideline for the rest of the world. We want to enslave everything. And they are getting away with a lot of it. Even if there's nothing there to worry about. They don't care. It's just that they're using this as an opportunity to enslave the human race. Well, those that want to be enslaved, those that do not want to, obviously just feel anxiety when this is going to end. You just have a different perspective. Others feel safer during lockdown. Yes, of course, there's a lot of brainwashing. The government itself conducts brainwashing experiments in the higher astral. Well, you can say lower, but actually in the higher astral. It's like the astral plane gets sprayed, you can say, with lower dimensional consciousness. I realize also the physical feels sometimes, depending on who it is, the physical realms that you're in feels as superior than the astral realm, than the spirit realm. It feels like you can hold it even hostage, as what Australia's doing. It's like, yes, we're doing inhumane things. We can do whatever we want. Yeah, there's nothing you can stop us. So it is showing a lot of lower astral energies that have not been quite healed yet. It's a lot of elitists, old elitists that are there. Retired, nothing better to do, has a plan where they like to do this to the rest of the world, but can't. They're doing some of it, of course. Yes, they're getting a high off it, of course. And the luxury of a beach scene. On the coast of Australia, on the coast of any coast, just because they have their freedoms and you don't. They can go anywhere. They cannot play these games, but you have to. Obviously. That is until humanity changes its belief systems. Yeah, when it opens up his mind, if it wants to, it shuts it all the time. Well, yes, it might be too much for it. It might be too much of realism. Take it. The Australian politics, yes, trying to cede other countries. It is just coming from another reality, trying to enslave the earth. It's not always reptilians, but there are reptilians there. It's not always them. Yeah, sometimes you have just a greedy human from another reality that wants to have everyone enslaved. So you're healing those frequency levels. It is not easy. But of course, up to human consciousness, many are reluctant to realize their own power. Spiritualism can help, but it's not for everybody, of course. Yes, without spiritual growth, many are, well, even in religion, it is showing there is some kind of, even if religion is a form of spiritualism for some people, it is a kind of awakening in some form. It's just enough of spirituality to pull away from these manipulations here. Just enough. Not to go too deep. Many of you are going very deep. You're seeing yourself on other planets. You see yourself in spirit. You see yourself as Archangel Michael. You've seen all these type of things. And others are just seeing Jesus. And that's it. Or avoiding Jesus for all their sins, whatever comes first. But remember, Australia, yes, was once a prison state, country. It still is. It hasn't quite changed its ways. Those old vibrations are still there. You can cleanse it, but obviously it's not having those conversations just yet. Now, some elitists do clear out the vibrations using their symbols, their symbolism to clear it out, but yet they have an agenda to add to it. So we might clear out the ghost energies here, but we're going to manipulate your place at the same time. Using corporations to do it. Poisonous corporatism. Yes, the elite at the top are wealthy and everyone else is poor on purpose. We'll always do that. They want to show you who's in charge. What's this? Greetings to you. I am Walter. Yes, I did not really like my life on Earth. I would like to be one that was more influenced, doing more, working with architecture, and making it very simple. As my life was kind of complicated. My work was not. Yes, I did connect to the astral realms. My painting or my art, oh, it was kind of a painting too, is, yes, signatures from the astral plane. You can call it manipulation, but it's also, yes, a lot of agendas connected to it. Coded messages. Yes, an artist of the elite in some form. But for me, that was all I knew. I was here to, yes, leave a program, deprogram and to program. Was it art keeps the agenda going? The physical agenda. Certain artists are certain artists are part of a frequency just to keep this reality as it is. It's like the architecture of it. So, yes, many of you want to heal reality. Look at all this slight details that are everywhere. Difficult to see everything. It's actually a red light, meaning green light, red light, meaning sometimes you're allowed to see what's going on, and other times. So the astral does open up here on Earth. When you have a major timeline change and then it closes itself down. Like portals in the sky. You can say there's portals other places, but it's mostly in the sky. Thunderstorms open up portals and close them. Tornadoes, obviously, are different reasons behind that. It's not going into details. But the thunderstorms is how the astral connects to your planet. You say it connects to the sun? Yes. But it's also opening portals where you can't see them. So you have all this rain and lightning and thunder. You don't see what's going on there, done on purpose. It's kind of like the smoke and mirrors are there. So yes, during rainstorms, imagine many of you feel a vibration there. Maybe not always the most positive, but there's something going on there. It doesn't mean you're going to see your timeline just yet, clearly. Your timeline is being hidden. Not forever, but just now. There's many hidden agendas. So, yes, the elite, yes, they hide behind many things, but one of them is weather, as some of you know. Like where they are, in some places, their weather there is just terrible, such as London. London, this whole health situation also to keep people away from them. So yes, they are getting more bold in their communications in some ways, not completely. Like they reveal their infrastructures, like Australia, they'll build it, but they'll keep themselves hidden out of public for the most part, for now at least. Yeah, if you see a bird being humanoid, like in your mind, that shows you they're paying attention to you. There's other signs, but the bird is the stronger one. Just is. Greetings. That consciousness of New Zealand. We actually feel very new to your world, even if we've been here forever. We are a new energy. We are the future. Yes, there are lockdowns and manipulations, but we are also here to assist humanity in its growth. We're not always going to show what we're up to, but as New Zealand consciousness, New Zealand for the most part is safe. Not perfect, but safe. There are farmlands. There's many different lands, of course. But a lot of it has to do with just, yes, elitism, but also to heal it, but also show, yes, the control over Australia influences New Zealand easily. Well, there's a partnership there that the two help each other in some form. So New Zealand, most likely, without all this, would not have any lockdowns at all if it had its way. It is, yes, the Switzerland of that part of the world in some form. It doesn't have all the elements of Switzerland, but there is some hints of it. So it is a New Zealand is, yes, imagine most of you aren't aware of its consciousness, or its some are, most aren't. A lot of new souls incarnate into New Zealand, but also very prosperous. It's like all of a sudden they have everything that they need, done on purpose to heighten the vibrations here. We want to say, yes, that many of the future humans are going to be there. I mean, future lifestyles. It's not always seen, but of how to be a human, a lot of that happens there. Once again, it doesn't get much attention for reasons. It might not make any sense in anything we're talking about, but New Zealand has a lot of direction of the future. Yes, I say a more calmer human, more intellectual, more connected, when the time is right. The world, yes, is healing its violence. Well, if it's really allowing itself to heal, it will hear our message or anyone else's message and just take it more seriously. Just even if they don't believe it, take it seriously for themselves to let go, especially that inner anger that's truly there. Now, once again, we can connect to those energies of the pain of the world, but does humanity want to expose that pain? Does it want to just keep it in? And many do. They don't know how to release it. Well, a lot of it, they're just keeping it in because they don't want to know what's really here. Because in the back of their minds, many, they know there's something else here. They're not completely disconnected. They just don't think about it, which is kind of an excuse. But they'll watch it on, yes, their televisions of fantasy lands, of Game of Thrones, which has been highly sexualized. It doesn't need to be that way, but that shows a lot of the manipulations from your elites. You have to add some sexual nature there to make people feel uncomfortable, but also to turn people off. There's actually something there that's they're actually disclosing a lot. They just hide it within sexual situations to get people to just that either they're aroused by it or they're turned off by it. But then they focus just on that, not seeing the little hints they're putting out there for Game of Thrones or anything for that matter. We're just using Game of Thrones as an example because Game of Thrones, yes, is very connected to Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is very connected to New Zealand, which is connected to Agartha. And basically, it's Agartha disclosing itself in some form that's for the mind that can handle it. And if it has controversies with it, it doesn't matter. It's just to get your attention. If you can do better, come up with a better version of Agartha, so be it. Because that is showing that you are connecting to the inner earth. So New Zealand, yes, is a doorway into inner earth. You just have to be there. Just be there for you have to be there for a long time. And you feel just different. The air is different. The vibes are different. It's almost like we were doing like a travel advertisement, but not really. That's one of the places to connect to. Australia, yes, is more, there's light there, but there's a lot of darkness. A lot of selfishness through its controllers. New Zealand, not perfect, still has, yes, its own darkness, but also has a lot of awakening energies within it. It is more open than many other countries. It just doesn't advertise itself, for that matter. It is very Pleiadian, at least at times. You're Australia. Well, a lot of weapons are made during Atlantean times there, or at least in that area. But yeah, so you heard yes to word self-reflection for the soul to rise above the human. Basically, allow more of your abilities to awaken, just recognizing the soul. Yes, not always going to give you answers to everything because you're still living the human experience, but you can break free of a lot of the. You can avoid mind control, MK Ultra, anything like that, and find a more positive path. It might not always be as rosy as I like it to be, because some of you are going deep. There is consciousness.